Good morning. Welcome to each of you. Welcome to Seated Yoga. So I hope this morning you're coming in and you're thinking a little bit about yourself and maybe thinking about what you need in the next half hour, just to sit, to move, and to breathe. If this is your millionth time joining us, welcome back. If this is your first time joining us, welcome to you. All of the movements that I will be doing are optional. If something doesn't work for your body, you're the expert in you. This is your class. So you follow the lead of your body and do what your body and your mind need today. We're going to start this morning by moving all the way to the front of your chair. Maybe that means scooching side to side up all the way to the front of your chair. You're going to take a look at your feet, and you're going to walk them far apart from each other, heel toe, and then walking back in. Maybe you're rubbing your hands together as you do this. Maybe you're rubbing your hands on your thighs. This is a good exercise, and just starting to have your focus be yourself and your body and your movements, not whatever just happened or whatever is going to happen in the future. You're focusing here, now, in the present. So after your next movement with your feet, you're going to put your two fists right in between your knees. That's going to help to space out your ankles right underneath your knees. Then hands are going to come to rest right onto the thighs. This is the moment you waited for. This is seated mountain pose. So you're sitting here in stillness, noticing how good it feels to be still after being in motion, and taking a moment just to scan your body. So this means maybe wiggling your toes, setting awareness to your toes. Maybe you're scanning into your ankles, just checking in, noticing what's going on with your body this morning. Noticing the knees. Send awareness up the thighs to the hips. Check in with your hips today. Send awareness with me all the way up your spine to your shoulders. Maybe you're noticing something there. Sending awareness down the backs of the arms to the elbows, the fronts of the arms to the wrists. Maybe wiggling your fingers a little bit, sending awareness to your fingers. And then, most importantly, sending awareness up your neck to every muscle of the face. Maybe you're even noticing the muscle and the space between your eyebrows, the muscle that's underneath the hair of your scalp. Just checking in to notice what posture you're coming into today with, and taking a moment to set an intention. What would you like to change, if anything, while you were scanning that body? And let's join in a safe and fun practice. Hands will come together. Looking up, we reach up to wherever feels good, and then peeling those fingers apart. You watch the fingers come down on one side. Hands come together. Look up, reach up, and then coming down on the other side. Beautiful. That is your movement. All we're missing is a breath. Breathing in and breathing out. This can be done with one hand if that's better for your body. Breathing in and breathing out. Excellent. Moving all the way to the back of your chair. Lean against the back of your chair. If you have a back to your chair, just leaning there. Hands are going to come up onto your shoulders, and then they're going to come all the way down. And with it, all of the stress is going to just drop off of your fingertips. Breathing in and breathing out. Let it go. Breath in and breath out. Remembering yoga is just movement with breath. So if all we remember is this breath, you did that yoga that day, and it's pretty easy to do yoga at some point every single day. Moving on to the middle or front of your chair again, grabbing onto those elbows in front of you, pulling up the arms to wherever feels good, and then drawing the arms across the body. Such a good stretch through the back of that arm, maybe even in through the shoulder. If you're noticing a lot of tension here, like you're kind of stuck in your own arm here, just see if you can have a little bit of space in between the arm and your chin. Drawing now across the body toward the other side. Spine is forward and gaze is forward. Coming in through center. Arms will come up as far as feels good for you. And then they're going to drop all the way back down. Release it. Let it go. Nice cleansing breath in. And breath out. Excellent. Good. We're going to shake those fingers out. Coming up onto the shoulders, we're going to make some little circles with the elbows coming forward. This might be such a subtle pose for you today. There's beauty even in those tiny little movements. There's information that your body can give you, even if the movement is really small. So maybe this is your sequence today. This is your posture. If you'd like a fuller expression, you can extend. Maybe those elbows are even close to touching in front of your body. Whatever feels good, doesn't matter. After your next circle, pause for a moment just to notice what's going on in the shoulders. And then reverse direction. So we're coming back. Again, movement can be really small, and that's all good. It's just not a competitive class. Just here to give you what your body needs. Which might be a little, it might be a lot. Excellent. Release the pose. Wow. Maybe you're noticing a lot in your shoulder, so moving all the way to the back of your chair, leaning against the back of the chair. We're going to start on this side that you don't write with. For me, that's my left side. I'm going to extend that hand up toward the ceiling. And then I'm going to extend it out wide toward the side, trying to grab the other side of the earth, bending at the elbow in front of the body, out toward the side. If a back bend is part of your practice, you can do that here, just leaning against the back of the chair, and then hand comes and rests right on the thigh. Other side. Extend, getting big, reaching up. Maybe you can reach all the way to the ceiling, and then reaching out, touching the other side of the earth. Gaze can follow the hand if that feels good for you. Bending at the elbow in front of the body, out toward the side. Again, if a back bend is part of your practice, you are invited to do so. And then hand comes down. Beautiful. Take a moment. Breathe in. And breathe out. Interlacing the fingers here or grabbing onto the wrists, whatever feels good for your body. You're going to reach all the way toward me as I reach toward you. So those arms are getting as far from the face as feels good for you. Extending, opening up the back here, and then coming all the way back down. Breathing in, reach toward me as I reach toward you. Yeah, just opening up some space in between the shoulder blades. Beautiful. Breathing in and breathing out. Excellent. Releasing the pose. Just a moment ago, we did a sequence with one hand and then the other. We're going to picture now what that would look like with both hands at the same time, if that works for your body. Breathing in. Yeah, breathing out. Breath in. Back bend if that feels good. And then breathing out. Let it go. Excellent. We're going to go through that sequence again. You can just choose your favorite arm to work with or both arms. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breath in. And breath out. Excellent. Move with me again to the middle or the front of your chair. Once again, you check in with your feet to see if they've traveled and put them back right underneath the knees. Hands come to rest on the thighs. Add like 2 inches to your height. Again, we're picturing your hips as a full bowl of water. We're noticing if you're spilling water forward or spilling water back to see if you can just stay nice and stable, not dropping even, or not spilling even and drop. With your spine tall like this, we're going to come forward in toward the earth as far as feels good, which again might be an inch and it might be a mile. It's not competitive. You're doing you. Coming forward and then coming back. As you move, we're going to add a breath to that. So breathing in, we come forward, and breathing out, we come back. Couple of options. If you want to extend this expression, you can hover the hands so that you're working only the core. And you can do this with a smile just to consider how that would feel. Maybe how that makes the movement feel different. Good metaphor for life. You can do the same amount of effort, but changing maybe how your posture is toward it changes how you're able to do that. Interlacing the fingers again, but the other way, so this will feel like you're holding someone else's hand or holding onto a wrist if that's better for your body. Again, you're reaching toward me as I reach toward you. extending, getting big. Hands will be so far from the face, and then coming right back down. Add a breath to that if you haven't already. Breathing in and breathing out. Excellent. Hands will rest. Palms are going to face each other, and you're going to extend the hands out in front of you. And then flipping the palms, the hands will reach all the way back. This is almost like we're swimming, or maybe like we're grabbing a ball from someone in front of us, and then we're passing the ball to someone behind us. That's the movement. All that's missing is your breath. Breathing in and breathing out. If you'd like to add some core to this, breathing in, you're going to bend forward, and breathing out, you're going to lean back. Breathing in, forward, and breathing out, back. Last time here, with your own breath. Nice work. Hands come to rest right into the thighs. Extend one hand up toward the ceiling and out toward the side. And here the fingers are going to glue together. And then we're going to draw the arm all the way across the body toward the opposite knee. It might not get there. That might not work for your body in your poses here, and that's totally fine. So reaching up, extending. We're at the disco here. And then coming all the way down, aiming for above the opposite knee. Extending up and coming down. If you haven't already, add a breath here, breathing in. And as you breathe out, we're going to leave the hand right on that thigh and go right into a spinal twist. So we have two hands on one side, and we're twisting toward the side of our hands. Yeah. So twisting toward your hands. Yeah. Great. Beautiful. Breathing. Maybe you're feeling this all the way in through your feet. Maybe you feel it all the way through your hips. Shouldn't feel this one with the neck. If you do, look more forward. Great. Coming back in through center, the other hand will extend up. Our fingers will glue together, and we're reaching down across the body to wherever feels good, and reaching all the way up. Keeping the arm as straight as we can as we go through this, which might be pretty bent, and that's okay. Reaching up, extending, getting big, and then reaching across the body. If you haven't already, breath. Breathing in and out. Inhaling here and exhaling. Beautiful. Leaving the hand there. Two hands on one side. We're coming right into the twist, so I'm twisting toward my hands. Breathing in. With every breath in, I am tall, and with every breath out, I twist. Last one here. Breathing in, we're tall, and breathing out, we twist. Beautiful. Good sequence. Good poses here. Hands come to rest right onto the thighs. Take a moment, just look up with your chin toward the sky. Maybe as you're doing this, you're checking in with your intention, whatever you wanted to get out of today. And then chin comes to tuck into the chest, looking down. Once more like that with a breath. Breathing in, we come up. And breathing out, we look down. Excellent. Moving all the way to the back of your chair, leaning against the back of your chair. Hands come to rest right into your thighs. You're going to pick one leg to start with. This leg will be on the side you don't write with. I write with my right side, so this will be my left. You can do this on the floor where you kick the foot up, the toe, the heel, and put the foot down. Or you can do this in the air with me. So foot comes up, toe points, toe flexes, and foot comes down. Do that with a breath. Breathing in, breathing out, breath in, and breath out. Yeah, you might notice how when we move with our breath, it forces us to slow down a little bit, which can be a really good thing. Breathing in, breathing out, breath in, and breath out. Yeah, take a moment just to observe what's happening in one side of your body versus the other. You did that. Moving now toward the other side. Foot will come up. Toe will point. Toe flexes. And foot comes back down. You can do all of this in your mind if movement is not what your body needs today. Good. All right, I did not cue a breath, so just ask yourself, was I breathing there? Now is your time to breathe. Breathing in. Breathing out. Inhaling. Yeah, and exhale. Beautiful. Good. Both feet will come up if that feels okay for your body. That is pretty effortful, so also you can be here. You're making some circles with the ankles. Maybe that means you're going opposite directions. Maybe it means you're going the same direction at the same time. Just play with it a little bit. See whatever feels good for your body. And breathe. Great. Foot comes into stillness. Take a moment just to observe the changes in your body. Good. Let's get into hips a little bit. So moving to the middle or the front of your chair, we're going to support one foot or one leg, and we're going to pull that toe up toward. It's going to be very active. So rather than letting the foot flop around, we're going to pull that foot up toward your shin. We're going to pick that leg up. It's going to come out toward this side, and it's going to come straight down. Foot comes up, comes over, and down. This might be a little movement. You're coming up with the same leg, over and down. Move where it feels good. If you haven't already, add that breath, breathing in as you pick up and breathing out as you set down. Breathing in and breathing out. Beautiful. Good. Hands come to rest. Take a moment to notice what's happening in one side of your body versus the other. And moving now toward the other side, options available to you. You can support that leg, flexing that toe up. Don't let it flop around. We're going to kind of pull it in here. You can have hands resting on the opposite leg if you're wanting to get really deep into the hip. That's very effortful. So just do that if your body needs some movement and effort today. Coming up, over and down. Add a breath if you haven't already. Breathing in and breathing out. Maybe noticing your face. I just noticed that I was making such a serious face and it's not that serious. So just adjusting for the moment. Reminding yourself a smile is available to you. Just consider how that feels. Mother Teresa said, peace begins with a smile. Doesn't end with a smile. It begins with a smile. Good. Hands come to rest right onto your thighs here. And just take a moment to notice the hips. Breathing in. And breathing out. Excellent. We're going to take all of the edges out of that sequence. So you're going to come up, over, and down all in one motion. It's going to look like you're making drawing a rainbow with your toe. So you're coming up, over, and down all in one motion. So do that with me. Supporting the leg, up, over, and down, all in one motion. Nice. Yeah, up, over, and down. Switching legs here. Up, over, down. Yeah. Go a couple on your own sequence with your own breath, which might mean you're faster than me, and it might mean you're slower than me. Good thing it's not competitive. Great. Then move all the way to the back of your chair. Now's our time to engage the whole body, if that feels good for you. If you are on a chair that has wheels, make sure it's either locked or be really careful with this next sequence so you don't travel. Feet can come up if that feels good for you. Toes are going to spread so wide from each other. It's like they're in a big fight and they don't want to be next to each other. And then hands will extend, getting big, fingers spreading wide. You're taking up a lot of space and the gaze is lifted, right? And then here, we're going to kind of contract into a tiny little ball. We're coming down. Our gaze is on the floor, and we're hanging on super tight. Maybe you're even squeezing the eyes shut here. And coming up, getting big, extending, taking up tons of space. If a back bend is part of your practice, you can certainly add that here. And maybe you're even smiling, eyes are open wide, and then we're going to come down, contract, get small. Good. That's our movement. All we're missing is a breath. So breathing in, extend, take up space. We're here. And then exhale, getting small. Once more like that, breathing in, extend, get big. Just taking in everything that's good and then hanging on super tight. Beautiful. Feet come to rest right onto the floor. Again, we're just going to let them kind of wiggle a little bit, doing any sort of movements you need in order to be still for a moment. Hands are going to rest, or hands are going to space out those knees for a moment, then rest right onto the thighs. Take a breath here. Hands are going to come right onto the belly, fingertips interlocking a little bit here. And your gaze is going to be right onto your fingers. You're going to breathe into the hands, letting those fingers fly away from each other, and then breathing out, the fingers will come together. Breath in, and breath out. Last time here, breathing in, and breathing out. Excellent. Moving all the way to the back of your chair, leaning against the back of the chair. One hand is going to come onto your heart, the other hand comes over to join it. Chin comes to tuck into the chest. Eyes can float closed if that's comfortable for you. Otherwise, soft gaze on the floor about 2 to 3 feet in front of your toes. Take a moment to scan the body just as we did at the beginning of practice. You're going to notice your own toes. Send awareness to the ankles. And drawing awareness up the body to the knees, up the backs of the legs to the hips, up every piece of the spine to the shoulders, where we did a lot of rotating and rolling and moving. Send awareness down the backs of the arms to the elbows and up the fronts of the arms to the wrists, the backs of the hands, the whole hands as they cover your heart. Then with me, you'll become aware of every piece of your neck to every muscle of your face. Maybe you're checking in and noticing where there's tension, where we can replace that with ease. Maybe noticing if there's lines across the forehead to replace that with stillness and with peace. Maybe you're even considering how it would feel in this posture to replace what's on your face with a slight smile. Maybe that's the posture that's most appropriate for going into the rest of your day. And in gratitude for a safe and fun practice, you'll move with me to the front of your chair. Hands will come together. We'll end as we started. Reaching up, we look up, and then reaching out, we let the fingers fly down. Breathing in and breathing out. Inhaling. Yeah, and exhaling. Together we look up. And together we reach out. Just 2 times here, we're going to reverse that direction at the end of practice. So reaching out, around, and then drawing the hands together and down. Last time here, breathing in and breathing out. Excellent. It's been such a pleasure to teach each of you today. Return to any of the recorded classes whenever you need some time to sit, to move, to breathe. Take care.